ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಧನಂಜಯ ಪದ್ಮನಾಭಾಚಾರ್, ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸೆರೆನಿಟಿ ಹೋಮ್ ಬಯರ್ಸ್ ಫೋರಂ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇದರ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯದರ್ಶಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಶನಿವಾರದ ದಿನ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಲೈವ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್, ಅದು 9 ಗಂಟೆ ನಂತರ ಒಂದು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಹ ಮನೆಯ ಗ್ರಾಹಕರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದ ರೀಸನ್ ವೈ ಆಲ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಬಯರ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ Saturday is to protest against the corruption which might be happening in Real Estate Regulation Board, which is RERA. So RERA Act has been introduced by the central government way back 5 years down the line to bring down some of the irregularities that is happening in the real estate industry and to streamline some of the process and to help the home buyers to ensure the homes are being delivered by the builders to the home buyers on time. But is RERA is effective? Is Real Estate Regulation Board is effective? Is a big that arises in everyone's mind. And most of the people on this call today have booked a flat in different projects in Bangalore, and they have not got the house till now. And particularly myself, I have booked a flat in Mantri Serenity way back in 2013, and even today, after 8 years, till today, the flat has not been delivered by the builder Mantri Developers. And similarly, there are many other home buyers in this call who also booked a unit, a flat in the same project, and another projects like and any other projects, home buyers in Bangalore who are staying in Bangalore and other places of Karnataka and abroad as well. So the important aspects that we need to look at is central government has got an aspirations to streamline the process, but is the state governments are implementing the RERA guidelines as per the aspirations of the central government is a big question that is arising in everybody's mind, and especially home buyers who are the middle class sections of the society in Karnataka are facing a lot of challenges with respect to corruptions, lot of challenges that has been faced by the home buyers because of the corruption that is happening across the industry, especially in real estate, where there is no proper regulations, there is no proper guidelines. Even after RERA being implemented, the home buyers are getting suffered. Home buyers are not getting the homes on time. Home buyers' aspirations are not being met. I have booked a flat with an aspirations to live in a flat which has got good facilities that I can give it to my kids and my family. And the delivery date committed to me was in October 2016. And even today, we are living in 2021, October. The flat has not been delivered yet. So this is the situation. And because of that, since RERA is in action, we thought RERA will give justice. We all filed a complaint, including myself. I filed a complaint in RERA in September last year. And unfortunately, RERA is supposed to be one of the fastest problem solution board, but unfortunately, in reality, it is not. If last 1 year, I had got only 2 hearing dates, and the kind of hearing that happens in the complaint adjudicating officer is really pathetic. So I have attended few sessions, I have attended few hearing sections along with my advocate, and the situation, the way the cases are being heard is really pathetic. And I have a doubt whether the adjudicating officer is doing a justice to his job, or is RERA is doing a justice to their existence, it is a big question. Or is our country is like this? So this is a big question that is arising on every youngsters like me who are in the mid 30s or near to 40s, who have an aspirations to give a good house to their families and their kids. So with that, we have a lot of home buyers today who are going to share their experiences, and this is a digital online protest platform, and we believe that people who are on the call are going to speak the truth. People on the call are going to tell their experiences, which is facts. People are going to speak, which is ambitions, what they had, and is RERA is effective in Karnataka, and how can RERA be made effective in Karnataka is are the important stuff that we are going to discuss today on this call. And I will walk you through what are the steps that we have taken in terms of ensuring that RERA can give justice to home buyers. We are trying to reach to the respective housing ministers. We have written an email to CS, chief secretaries. We have written an email to Chief Minister of Karnataka, but unfortunately, our chief ministers and our chief secretaries are so busy in their daily activities, they don't have any time to even to respond to a taxpayer who's paying 30% of their earnings so that they get their salaries. So that is the situation we are all living in Karnataka. I think this is a very, very pathetic state we are living in, and this is the one of the reason why we started up this Bhrashtachara Mukta Bharata Abhiyana, where we will bring out some of these irregularities happening in the government bodies, regulatory bodies that come onto the social media, and this program recording will be shared in social media and other platforms where public can see what is happening to the middle class and how bureaucracy is ruining this country, and then how the politicians are so irresponsible in terms of doing their duties, and then why all these questions will arise in the minds of the people. With that note, I will share few videos to begin with how RERA functions in terms of hearing some of the complaints raised by the home buyers on this platform. Thanks a lot for joining in, and there will be an opportunity for each home buyer who are on this call to speak and their experiences of RERA. And before that, I want to take you through some of the hearings, how it happens in the RERA. Give me a second. So this is the RERA portal, what you can see, with a very good intentions, very good aspirations from the government of India, and the government of Karnataka has made a beautiful website. And if you look at K Art Services and registrations and complaint, if you go to the complaints, and you can see daily cause list and promoter wise complaint report and the project wise complaint report. So if you look at the project wise complaint report, I just wanted to highlight few important projects where people are belonging to. If you look at total complaints raised by the home buyers is 5,840, out of which total projects are 1,464. And if I just look by the search name Mantri Serenity, you can see the number of complaints, Mantri Serenity 4, these are all belonging to the same project called Mantri Serenity in Kanakpura Road, 33 plus 24 plus 9 plus 41. These are the complaints being raised against the project by the home buyers so far. And then if you look at Lithos and any other project, anybody can search it out, which projects and which are the, you can see that Manyata, Mantri, Lithos, there are 55 complaints being raised. You can also check out WebCity. You can see how many complaints, 68, 6, 24, 21, 16, 14, 10, including all these, how many numbers, it reaches to more than 100 and it crosses 3-digit number. And then if you also look at Mantri Energia, you can see 53 plus 1. These are the number of complaints which is raised against a particular builder who's unprofessional in delivering the homes, and particularly I am one of the victims of this particular project called Mantri Serenity, which is, you can see that 33 plus 23 almost plus 9 plus 60 plus complaints have been raised against a particular builder, and what action being taken by the government, by the RERA authorities is not known. Nobody is getting any orders. Nobody is getting any resolution out of the RERA. So that is what I wanted to highlight today. I will walk you through some of the videos which we have collected during the hearing status. I request everyone to watch how RERA hearing happens. So first I wanted to push across one of the complainant called JT Ravi, whose recording has been highlighted here. Please watch how it.
Jagalur Tippeswamy Ravi.
I am appearing soon.
Then 7244.
7246 is our case, Sharad Chandra and Yashodh.
Oh,
Taking ಇದ್ದೆ 12 ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ತಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಓಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
The builder is a party for it. Judgment, Honorable Supreme Court judgments, wherein builders I have with me. Order the loan. If builder say no, he will go away, run away, then what will do? Bank will do. Bank will grant the loan looking into the capacity of an home buyer. I have written that clauses in the tripartite agreement. Probably they are under the impression that I think I am appearing at 4:30 p.m. That is not correct.
Sir, they would give. I have been paying at a rate of 10.5% and interest for all these years without having any rental income nor an ownership of that property, sir. And I only beg to the court that I will need some kind of a reprieve in form of a compensation or in form of a judgment saying I'll need that house and also make good the amount of the days. So this is our problem.
What I am asking is notice of reduction for your information.
For arguments at least.
Okay, Mohan Kumar. This batch will now you.
So this is a kind of the way the argument happens in RERA. I wanted to show some more arguments. This is what yesterday I had a session.
Namaste, this is Dhananjaya. Idu 6/5/11 case hearing ittu 1:30 anta helidri. Login aga try ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, it is not connecting.
1:30
1 ಗಂಟೆಯಿಂದ 1:30 ಇತ್ತು, ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೆ. ಏನು ಪ್ರೊಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಎರಡನೇ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಂದು. ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್? ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ನೀವು ವಕೀಲರಿಗೆ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಹೌದು, ವಕೀಲರು ಬಂದಿದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸು ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಆಗಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀಟಿಂಗು ಇದೇ ತರನೇ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್?
ನೀವು ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ವೇ? ಅವ್ರ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಓಕೆ,
ಅದ ಕೌಂಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಸರ್? 7 ವರ್ಷ 8 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಮೇಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು.
ಸರ್ 1 ವರ್ಷದ ಮೇಲಾಯ್ತು ಕೇಸ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು 8 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಕಳಿಸ್ತೇವ್ರಿ, ಮಾಡುವ.
ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸರ್, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಈ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಿಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪೇನ್ಫುಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ಸಕ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ, ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ರಿಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೌಂಟರ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೋತಿದೆ, 3-4 ದಿವಸ.
ಸರ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಜನವರಿಲೇ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ?
ಇರ್ಲಿವ್ರಿ, ಏನ್ ಅದು ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾನೂನು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಅವತ್ ದಿವ್ಸ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್
ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್?
ಹೌದು, ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಕಳಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಮೇಲ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟ್. ಓಕೆ
ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್
ಯು.
ಸೊ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇದೆ.
Total 21 matters that we have today. And please repeat the complaint.
To me, no. From section it should be reached from proper channel. Then I will.
6939 is not there.
Even in my list only. That
madam,
case, non verified.
In the systems are in.
These cases will be posted for argument. Okay.
Yes, madam. My lords, if there's any follow-up that is required.
ಸೊ ಕೇಸಿನ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳು ಇದೇ ತರನೇ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆ ಡೇಟಿನ ಹಿಂದಿನ 2 ದಿನ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೀ ನಾಟಕ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಎನ್ ಇಮೇಲ್. ಯಾವಾಗ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು 24ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿಗೆ, ಸಿಎಂ ನವರಿಗೆ, ಹೌಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿನವರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ಒಂದು ಇಮೇಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ಈ ತರ ಡಿಲೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ರೇರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇದು ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಸಹ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ ಬರೆದಂತಹ ಇಮೇಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಚೀಫ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ ಸಮಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಕಟ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಟ್ಟೋದ್ರಿಂದ they don't have time for the home buyers to respond. What they are interested is only collecting tax, but not serving the people of this state. This is a pathetic state we are all living in. So with this context, with the background of all these aspects, I will open up the forum to share their experiences and to grievances on this platform, what their experiences of RERA, and then how they are suffering, and then how their experiences goes to the society is what the platform. So those who want to speak, request to raise the hand, and then they can start speaking out on this platform. And please remember, it is a fact driven platform. It is a what we call it a Satyanveshana driven platform. All these video recordings will go all over in the social media and then reach out to the particular society to educate what is happening inside a RERA and stuff like that. Request everyone to speak the truth only. So request with respect to that, I will hand out the platform. Anybody who wants to speak their experiences with their RERA and other stuff, please raise your hand and start. This is an online protest, so this is not like Rajiv Janardhan sir, please go ahead. Whoever wants to speak, you have to unmute yourself and then put the video on and then speak.
1 second, sir. I'll just get my video on. Just bear with me.
Yeah. Anybody else by the time Rajiv comes back?
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, we can able to hear you, but we can't see you.
Let me come back and then maybe somebody else can start over.
Okay. Anybody else want to share your experience? This is an online protest. The way Dharna happens on the road, it is not like that where we hold a placard and then speak and say down, down, down. This is a different digital platform protest where you have to speak out, which is an unconference model of digital protest that we have started. We started off with Mantri Serenity and then moved on to some other social issues, bank scam, bed scam, Vasishtha Bank, Guru Raghavendra Bank, and other stuff. We started off with this kind of model of digital protest that has been applied, which has been successful in terms of passing on the message to the government and the bureaucrats on this in Karnataka to get some message out of stuff. So my suggestion is those who are speaking has to speak the truth. That's the only constraint we have on this platform. Yeah. Anant, want to speak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for hosting.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you very much for hosting this call. Really appreciate your effort for the online protest that we would like to place in front of the government and other social media to the public as well, to be honest. I come from the association belonging to Mantri Energia project,
Okay.
and I have personal grievances and also the group grievances.
Yeah.
First thing, I represent group. That's what I would look for first as a part of the association. RERA had come for an inspection about a month ago, approximately. And there is no visibility of the inspection report, nor any actions from RERA with respect to what they have inspected, what they are going to do as a next step. This is an absolute mess, to be very honest. I may be emotional in expressing my words, but still,
You're absolutely right, sir, because we are seeing these kind of actions where some government body will come for the sake of coming, and then after that, what happens, nobody knows.
Yes, absolutely. We are in the black hole right now. As buyers, as allottees, in fact, 80% of the agreement value is what I have paid, and many people are in the similar line. And the guarantee or the agreements have been violated very badly by Mantri. That's something which I would like to bring on to as a point. The second thing about my personal grievance is Mantri agreed to pay the pre-EMI. They said I will pay interest on excess of 1% that you are going to bear from the contractual agreement value. Nothing has been done at this point of time. They have violated every possible agreement, and every time we go back, they say we'll give a credit note, and the credit note never happens. And this is a grievance on Mantri and RERA. Very unfortunately, I don't know if they execute their powers properly.
Yeah, I think that this is very unpathetic situation, sir, what we are living in. RERA has got excellent powers in their hand, because the purpose of RERA creation is to regularize and bring some order in place. But unfortunately, it is not doing their duty honestly. That's the biggest problem. And one of the important aspects which I notice is for adjudicating officer, they're bringing somebody who is a retired person, who doesn't have any aspirations to grow as a career. And if you bring in a retired person, do justice. So this is one of the important aspects I personally wanted to bring onto the table. Being an youngster and bringing somebody who is retired person and sitting for the sake of sitting is really pathetic for all of us.
No, it's not about that retirement or youngster. Doesn't matter. End of the day, they have an empowerment which is legally vetted. It's part of their rules. They have to follow. We are all abiding to Indian Constitution, law, and rules, right? Which mean doesn't matter about the age, doesn't matter about voting. It's as good as like voting rights, right? Right from the time when you mature yourself to get the voting rights till you die, you have to execute the power. I see that RERA authorities have to execute their power rather than whether it's retirement or career aspiration. That is secondary. That's a personal thing on a professional grounds. My view is they stick to the rules, stick to the law, get the judgment or justice for the people who are like me. I'm a taxpayer.
Yeah, definitely.
Will I be let go if I don't pay income tax? That's something which every middle class person really looks for, and not just me. I am still working very few years from retirement. Imagine people who have put in their money, who have already retired, all their lifetime savings are gone.
Correct.
In fact, my lifetime savings so far, even though I'm working, have gone into Mantri's pocket. There is no justice yet. That's what I want to place in this forum.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. I think it's a good point that you brought in. Doing the duty is very important first. RERA has laid down the structure, and whoever is on the board to do the duties, then looks like they're not doing their duty honestly. And as an individual, it's almost like 1 year I have filed a RERA case. And whenever I see adjudicating officer or hearing complaints saying no action being taken, 1 year what they're doing, there is no SLA driven, is it? See, we are all working in a corporate world, and there is a priorities, P1, P2 or P3, whatever, there is a priority ticket that has been assigned. And even after 1 year, there is no clarity in terms of, I know there are a lot of home buyers here who filed 2 years back also, I can see. But why there is no SLA being driven, put across in RERA saying that, okay, this complaint, it has to be resolved in particular timeline. There should be any action which is a time bound. See, we are all living in 21st century and we all talk about digital world. We all talk about cloud. We all talk about artificial intelligence. We all talk about new technologies when we speak in public forums. I don't name any politician, but people are talking about digital world. But are the digital worlds are being implemented with the simple common sense of putting a timeline for a complaint, which is unfortunate. Even after giving a timeline, January or February was the last date for filing an objection by the builder. Today we are not sure whether the objection is being filed or not. When the hearing date comes, the opposite lawyer comes back and says, no, I have sent it and I have not reached. Yeah, we are living in a digital world and email sending, you can't acknowledge. And where the hell is this going on? So we are talking about digital world. We talk about artificial intelligence in public forums and adoption of new technologies. Whereas a simple email response is what we anticipate from the government. I just showed the one email which is written to Chief Minister, one email written to Chief Secretary. And if they don't have a courtesy to respond to a simple email, what digital technologies are they talking about it? I think this is a very pathetic situation, sir. Simple SLA, what is required? Okay, RERA has given guidelines, implement it, put a SLA, standard guidelines. Okay, this complaint, okay, first hearing, okay, this takes 1 month and the adjudicant has to close this by a particular time. And only adjudicating officer for 5,000 cases.
Another point which I want to make. How is RERA, say for example, let's look at, we wait for 2 years and we get a judgment, okay? How is that they are enforcing the judgment with the builders? Which means if the judgment is disrespected by the builders,
correct,
it's as good as there's no need or no purpose of RERA.
Exactly.
So
and
that's another point.
And it is not honored by the builder. Then why the hell we have a board or why the complaint system?
Yeah, very true.
Pointer answer. Thanks a lot for bringing this on this problem. I think very two important point you brought up in. One is RERA has got a guidelines irrespective of the age or whoever it is, they have to follow the guidelines. And the second is SLA driven, which we discussed. Every RERA complaint should be solved within a specific timeline. These are the two important takeaway from your conversation.
Another thing is implement what is the judgment.
Implement the judgment. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And RERA gives an order and builder doesn't implement, doesn't honor the order. That doesn't mean that, it doesn't have a value.
Which means there is still entities in the system which disrespects the law. What is that going to work against them or work in favor of people who are following the law, and who is against the law? How do we really take action? That is something which I would like to place.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Thanks a lot for your input, Anand sir. So we'll move on to Radhika, Ravi and Santosh has raised the hand. Thanks a lot, Anand sir, for joining with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So who wants to speak? Rajiv and Santosh. Rajiv, you want to go first? You raise the hand first. You're on mute, Rajiv. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I loud and clear now?
Yeah, you're audible. You're audible.
Thank you. Apologies for the earlier indiscretion. One of the things I would like to bring is we have had 2 hearings of RERA. And the way it has been, pedantic way it has been conducted, leaves a lot to be desired. That's a very sorry thing. I mean, yesterday I and Dhananjay ji were there on a call, and we did not even realize that he has already adjourned the case.
Yeah.
And it took us about 45 minutes of talking to each other to understand that yes, our case has been disposed of without even a single word being said. And the Mantri lawyer was switching platforms throughout the call and dodging questions. And this guy just simply gave another date. And you must have seen that Dhananjay ji was pleading that even after 1 year of filing the case, we are still in the same where we started.
Right.
We expect a more proactive response from a responsible redressal agency, adjudicating officer, and more importantly from RERA.
RERA, yeah.
That is
I
something
think,
a given.
Rajiv sir, we respect adjudicating officer as a judge. See, we respect
Yes.
as a honor.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
kind of response what we receive really questions whether we should respect such a system or not. And but
True.
unfortunately, we are in a legal bound and we have to respect whoever it is. But please go ahead.
We expect actually a more proactive response, that all people are sacrificing so much amount of time and energies and putting their money and actually will into the process.
Yeah.
And at the end of the process, we are as ignorant as we were before. That's a very stupefying statement at the end of two RERA calls which we have had, that we are none less wiser.
Yeah, and that is after 2 months. So that
Yeah, exactly. And arbitrarily, it is just given, like first hearing was in June or July, and then it is October. Now it's probably January. That's what I could understand. I'm not conversant with Kannada, but that's what probably he was telling you.
yeah.
And that's very, very, very sad state of
And
affairs.
looking at the way they are responding, last time also it was the same sentence saying that we want to put a objection, and this time also same story. And
Yeah, it's pretty much the
officer
same.
has to listen to such a stories from the builder side always, and why they are not listening to home buyers? Is the platform being created by the government to listen to builders or listen to the home buyers? This is a question that right
True.
now listening to 2 hearings.
And I also echo actually some of the people who have the co-residents who have spoken earlier, that this is also our retirement flat. We have invested our hard-earned money towards it, and we are at our wits' end when we will get the possession of the flat. We see the progress, but progress has to translate into possession.
Correct.
What doesn't help in matters is in order to adding more injury, adding salt to the injury is monthly representatives, repeated calls. Why don't you withdraw case? All those kinds of things. And it is happening. And finally, I have started simply telling the monthly representatives, for 6 years, you have been duping us today, tomorrow. You give us a date, you hand over the flat to us, and then we will talk about the remaining things.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we need to start talking plain speak to these guys. Otherwise, these CRMs, they give rosy pictures, and let others not get duped by and take actually cognizance of the kind of stance and rather our hapless experiences at the hand of the builder.
Yeah, definitely. Sir.
All right, I've said my piece. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think it's a good input that you have brought in, and RERA authorities has to act fast and listen to the home buyers. I think this is the third, second hearing. After second hearing, there is no clarity in terms of what, whether they have filed objections or not. And every hearing, it's the same story. So this makes us a question that arises in the minds of ours, saying that there is any corruption that is going on within the RERA body. So though we don't have any proof of corruption, but looking at the way it is going, a big question arises in the home buyer's mind. Is there any corruption that is happening within the RERA? Yes, any others want to speak? Radhika Ravi, madam, please unmute yourself and you have to be on video.
Good evening, sir. Ravi Illi from Mysore.
Yeah.
Namaskar. First of all, thank you for all the pain taken to write to CM and Chief Secretary. I have only one concern. Chief Minister Chief Secretary we have very little control or no control at all. We cannot expect much from them. But Nam lawyer Sahib, he quoted a fee and we have given without negotiation. We have already paid 100%. And the defendant lawyer comes and she always says, we still need some time for preparation. I think I have submitted. But then she doesn't have a simple list of what she has submitted and for what cases she has not submitted any papers. And Nam lawyer we have paid, at least we can expect some answer from him. Chief Minister, Chief Secretary Bithaki. But we have given upfront for him. And he is there to represent our feelings, our cases. But I haven't seen, this is the fourth session. 4 sessions are finished now in our case. ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, he accepts everything. So I don't know, at least we can ask him.
Yeah, definitely sir.
So I think we have to collectively raise a voice and request our lawyer that why he is keeping quiet. Okay, he has already quoted saying that, okay, I cannot force the judge, fine, but at least when they say after 4 sessions, after 1 year, if the lady comes back and says, we still need some time to prepare, I don't know, I have submitted, we have to check, and she starts looking for it, and it's so obvious, and he simply keeps quiet.
Yeah, okay,
he is there only to accept the postponements of date, and I accept that. I haven't seen anything from our lawyer.
Yeah, so I think it's a good point that you brought in. I think I wanted to share one video what happened in the last hearing, so probably that some more clarity there, because there are a lot of things that happens inside the office. So let me just share one video. 1 second. So because I don't want to defend anyone, but
ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಪೀಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ?
ಈಗ ನೀವು ವಕೀಲರನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ವಕೀಲರು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮೋಹನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಡ್ವೊಕೇಟ್.
ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ,
ಅದು ನೋಡಿ
ಪರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾದಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಮಸ್ಕಾರವನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್. 10 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ.
ಆಯ್ತು, ನೋಡು,
ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ಈ ಒಂದು ಜಂಜಾಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನನೇ ಕಳೆದೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸಾವುಗಳಾಗಿದೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಮನೆಯನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ದು, ಅಂತಹ ಸ್ಥಿತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಡೆವಲಪರ್ಸ್ ಮನೇನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ ದುಡ್ಡಿಗೆ ಮೋಸ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು FIR ಗಳು ಫೈಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂಬೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಈಗ 7-8 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಡಿಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿರೋ ಬಿಲ್ಡರಿಗೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಬಯರ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತಾವು ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜನವರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಡೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಜನವರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇವಾಗ ಜುಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟವನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ.
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ನಮ್ಮ ವಕೀಲರು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಾನ ಇಡಿ.
8 ವರ್ಷ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ.
ಆಯ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ.
ಸೊ ನೀವ್ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಪ್ರತಿ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೇ ಸ್ಟೋರಿನೇ. ಮೋಹನ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ ಸೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಚ್ ಜಸ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಲೂ ಅದೇ ಕತೆ, ಈ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲೂ ಅದೇ ಕತೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲೂ ಬರೀ ಕತೆಗಳಾಗ್ತಿದಾವೆ ಹೊರತು ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ತಗೋತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮೋಸ ಆಗಿರೋದು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. 8 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಮೋಸ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿ ಅದೇ ಕತೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ರೇರಾ ಮೇಲಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಹೇಗೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಒಬ್ಬ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇಯರ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮಾನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ರವಿ ಅವರೇ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ನಾವು ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇರೋದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ರೇರಾ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸರಿನು ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕೇಳೋದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳೋದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅನುಮಾನ ಬರಕ್ ಶುರು ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಮ್ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಂಗ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ರೇರಾ ಮೇಲೆ ಅನುಮಾನ ಬರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಯರ ಪಾತ್ರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಪಾತ್ರ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಬಂದವರು ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸೆರೆನಿಟಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 8-9 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಾಯ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಅನುಮಾನ ಮೂಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ರೇರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ನಡೆದಿರಬಹುದಾ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಶೀರ್ಷಿಕೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 2 ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು. 2ನೇ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ 2 ತಿಂಗಳು 3 ತಿಂಗಳು ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆದಂತ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ನೀವು ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳೋದು? ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ನಡೆದಿರ್ಬೋದಾ? ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ಹಣವನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಲಂಚ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ತನ್ನ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇರುವುದು ಸಹ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರನೇ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕರ್ತವ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸಹ ಅದು ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರನೇ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದಾ ಅನ್ನುವ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ರವಿ ಅವರು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಬಹುದಾ? ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಸಾಮೂಹಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
ಖಂಡಿತ ರವಿ ಅವರೇ, ಇದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಈ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೋ ಶನಿವಾರ, ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 2 ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಇವತ್ತು ರೇರಾಗಿ ಹೋಗೋ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶನಿವಾರ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ರ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೋ ಒಂದು ವೀಕ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೇರಾ ಆಫೀಸಿಗೆ ಮುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹಾಕುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಂತರ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಅವಾಗ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾವು ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೊರಟೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಟ್ ತೋರಿಸಬಹುದು ಸರಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾದಂತಹದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಲಾಯರ್ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಖಂಡಿತ ರವಿ ಅವರೇ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಅವರು ಕೈಯನ್ನ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಂತೋಷ್ ಅವರು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಧನಂಜಯ ಅವರೇ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನದಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇರಾ ಅಂಡ್ ವೈ ದಿಸ್ ರೇರಾ ಕೋರ್ಟ್? ಸೊ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಮೊದಲು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು. ವಿ ಕುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಚೀವ್ಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಟರ್. So what is the reason for RERA? I was actually having a lot of question marks. Then I learned RERA is to speed up the process. Regular court alli delay agate. RERA will actually help home buyers. But now after 2 hearings, ಒಂದು ಜಡ್ಜ್ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಂದು ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು. That link never worked at all. First case ಅಲ್ಲಿ link at least worked. I was there for 30 minutes. ನನ್ನ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಾನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಕೇಸ್ ನಂಬರು ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ ಲಾಯರ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ, ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡೇಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಏನ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೇರಾ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರೇರಾ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹೋಮ್ ಬಯರ್ಸ್? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಡೌಟ್. ಹೆಂಗ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ actually for the builders or for home buyers? I have a real doubt. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ at least some clarity ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು. That adjudicating officer would have asked few questions to builders lawyer saying that ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ 10 ತಿಂಗಳು ಇನ್ನೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, he is not even asking a single question. Oh, okay, ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಾಡಿ. So that is why I am having a doubt whether this RERA is formed by builders themselves. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೂ it will encourage. So if ಮಂತ್ರಿ comes out clean, no pressure at all, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬಿಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾನು ಮನೆ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ, ತಗೊಳಪ್ಪ ಒಂದ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜಾಗ ತಗೊಂಡು 1,000 ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಟ್ಟಿ 90% ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬೋಣ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು as a builder, oh please go to Swami Fund, please go to RERA, relax ಆಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡೋದು. So ಈ ತರ every builder will get encouragement. So currently whatever is happening, I have a doubt whether it is really. I am requesting RERA, if they are really for home buyers, they should listen to home buyers and they should ask right questions to builders, lawyers, what has been done till now. Because I bought this apartment for a better community for my mother. Unfortunately, I wanted to give her a better life. Now she is no more. And 2 years ago, when she was having medical condition, I kept on writing to Mantri. ನಮಗೆ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ, ನಾನು EMI ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮನೇನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೀ EMI ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನಾರ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಿ ನನಗೆ. I have some medical emergency. I have complete email trail. They did not even respond. They did not even bother. Now they are like, why you want to go to RERA and things like that. So it's really bothering me. So there is no faith in this system. Now 100% white money, complete taxpayers, we are struggling today. So that is the reality of life, unfortunately. So if RERA is formed by government, is for home buyers, I am sure they have to listen and they have to do something for the home buyers. So now really in person, hoglebek Dhananjay sir.
Definitely, Santosh. I think you brought a very important point. RERA is with the intention is to help home buyers, but unfortunately, looking at the current situations and watching some of the videos of how hearing happening, looks like it is created for builders, not for home buyers. This is the impression that is getting created among the home buyers and among the citizens of this country, and especially in Karnataka, where the RERA implementation is such a pathetic situation, where Karnataka state government is there listening, or the bureaucrats are working on their ground. And please remember, all the bureaucrat salary, who is the RERA chairperson or adjudication officer, the entire system salary is being paid by the taxpayers' money. It is not somebody else, who is going to pay it. It is the taxpayers like us who is paying 20%, 30% of our earnings. And you guys, please remember, RERA chairman, RERA adjudicating officer, you are getting salaries, you are eating food because of the tax money that we are giving you guys. So please remember this, and everybody has a role to play. And you have been appointed to do justice to home buyers, and you are not doing the justice. Instead, you are just saying, please wait, please wait. What the hell is going on in this world? And especially in RERA is becoming a big pain. And here Santosh mother, he lost his mother and he wanted to give a gift to his mother, and 7-8 years of delay has creating a lot of problems. And then we believe that government should help the citizens who are paying tax. Are we just use it? Are we just become a used material for giving votes as well as just pay tax, and then you don't ask anything about the government? This is the system we are living in Karnataka. This is the system we are living in India. Our Prime Minister is supposed to be one of the topmost leader, who is considered to be the topmost leader, whereas the ground level reality is that RERA is being implemented. Pathetic situation in Karnataka. Are they just creating for the sake of creating guidelines? This is a question that raises everyone mindset. And not only on this, because a lot of other corruption that is happening in the society. Nobody is looking into this, and especially home buyers are the middle class families who are honest taxpayers. And even whatever the booking amount that we paid, even we paid TDS to that. So every aspect of money that we spend, we paid 30% tax, and along with that other taxes. And then on top of that, we also paid TDS for payment of this installments as well. So even after that, if the government is just ignorant of these taxpayers category, and this will have implication in the future for sure, for impacting and not attending the middle class families. And today the Indian voting percentage has gone so below because of some of the corruption happening in the society, and this will have percolating impact if the government at the center and the state don't act and react on some of the complaints that home buyers are facing. Thank you, Santosh, and speaking on this platform. And we'll move on to others who want to speak on this platform.
Thank you, sir. Hope those heartless people will have some mercy after hearing this. So we can only be hopeful.
What we are seeing, Santosh, is some of the builders are heartless, unfortunately, because we are writing such an email saying about your mother's death, and nobody is responding. And this is one of the shocking factor for me, being in IT industry. Whenever a client, home buyer is a client to a builder, and when a client writes an email, such a with the passion, people who are serving has to respond. And here is a builder who don't even care about the home buyers who took the money, and whether he has a shame, I don't know. Really, constitutional words are coming out, but I don't want to use this online platform. But it's a very shameful act, whatever the builder is doing. And the most shameful is the governing body, because governing body is supposed to be the governing body who instruct the builders to complete the project. And if they're not doing it, and compensate the home buyers, they are not doing it. And I'm seeing in the chat, some home buyers are saying they got an order, but they're unable to execute the order in Tahsildar office. Tahsildar is being paid by the home buyers' tax money, like us, like any of us who was paying tax. Tahsildar salary is being paid by taxpayers' money, and whoever is the district commissioner, salaries are being paid by the taxpayers' money. And unfortunately, people in the bureaucratic world are forgetting that they are getting salary because of us. You are living your life because of us. Because of my earning, you are living life. And you guys are so ignorant of it. This is the situation where the taxpayers of this country has to raise the voice against this corrupt system who was not responding, who was not honoring the RERA orders. If Tahsildar is not honoring the order, he is not supposed to sit in that particular place, and Lokayukta complaint has to be raised. ACB need to be contacted. And a lot of these processes, because of the not having a strict regulation, we don't have a strict anti-corruption policy in this country. Though there is a Lokayukta, I don't know whether they are working or not. We have ICB. I have written for another case where Vamsha Ruksha I have requested and Tahsildar respond, sub-registrar office responds with some other document. If you ask for Vamsha Ruksha, he responds for something else. And I have written a complaint to ACB, and ACB is doing nothing. Forget about doing action. They're not even responding. That means the bureaucracy as well as the politician both have become silent spectators of looting for general public and especially taxpayers. I think this is an awareness that we need to bring onto the table through social media and other channels. Taxpayers are not going to keep quiet. Taxpayers, middle class families are not going to keep quiet against this injustice. And then any legal action that need to be taken, we need to take action. And then any protest, any dharna, anything to be done in front of a Tahsildar office or any aspects as per the constitution, under the constitutional acts, we should do that to ensure that we give it back to the society, and we will give it back to such Tahsildars, and they will make their understand that it is their salaries being paid by us. Thanks a lot, Santosh. And anybody else?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else want to speak on this platform? Please raise the hand. Yeah, Kailash want to speak. Yeah, go ahead. You need to unmute and put it on video. Yeah.
Hi, sir. So this is Kailash. Basically, I'm from not from Karnataka. I came to Karnataka to Bangalore to have my career. So basically, my food and shelter for myself. Then I got married, and I'm kind of settled in Bangalore. So I thought of getting settled in Karnataka itself. Then I saw this Mantri Serenity in 2016. I'm part of victim in 2000 Mantri Serenity. I booked a flat in Mantri Serenity in 2016. I'm a very middle class guy. You can consider me as a lower middle class guy. See, I have a different background. See, other guys have been it's been emotional, but still, that's the fact. I have single citizen parents. I have a widow. My sister is widow, and she's having 2 kids back home in my village. Okay, so I'm trying to learn everything and try to make them happy, as well as to buy a small home for myself. By some of the other what to say, their heights or whatever say, they made some hiccups, and I thought, okay, this is something looking good where I can purchase this flat for my family. So many people have purchased this flat based on the location. Say they told the metro is coming, they told the ISKCON is coming, everything. The location was so attractive, and I booked the flat in 2016. Okay, till now. I was promised that I will be given December 2019. But till date, I haven't given the flat, not even a responsible answer from Mantri. And 2020, with the help of Dhananjay sir, I have done a RERA case 2020 September. But till date, it is not properly responded by either by RERA nor by Mantri. They're not responding it, even though I have been multiple times with my family. I have 2 kids now. When I went there, my son was 1 year old, 2016. Now my son is 6 years old, and my daughter is 2 years old. I don't know how to tackle all these things. As I told, I'm a middle class family, and I need to take care of my parents back home. I need to take care of my sister and her 2 kids. My niece and nephews are studying in my backyard. I was thinking that I can take them everyone back here in Bangalore, and I can take care of them. But it's not happening. And from 2020 September, the RERA case, I was dependent on them. And we approached multiple channels, and we got, I mean, literally, I can say that with the help of Dhananjay sir and the entire team, we made the Swami Fund happen for Mantri Serenity. So even after that, we are struggling. And they are saying that I have paid 95% of my home payment. 95% I have paid. I'm still struggling. I'm running behind the home buyer, the government. So what more? Every time I cannot reach the home minister and finance minister. I'm not that stuff guy. Right. So when the injustice given to a middle class guy or a lower middle class guy, I don't know what this government is made for. Every time I cannot reach a PM, I cannot reach an FM, I cannot reach a home minister. So this is the way I'm getting support. In the other way, when there is a justice, when there is a law framed for the ground, if it is not working properly, where should I go further? That is my even I echo Santosh. He has given he has faced an emotional loss. There is some more other guys. There are guys who has registered without even the building has been started.
Yeah.
And one of my brother who registered, myself and Balaji, who registered next on block 3, 803, 804. He lost his father, who was desperate about this project. In 2020, he has unfortunately lost it. So there are multiple emotional things. It is not like we are small guys. We in 130 crores people, we are one. There might be, even if you take the 2,300 people, 203,000 occupancy of Mantri Serenity. Since I am part of Mantri Serenity, I am taking only that 2,000 plus families. I cannot, every time we cannot go there. Even PM, FM, and home is having their own list of tasks to complete. We cannot go. Luckily, Dhananjay sir helped us to meet ACP sir. We have met DCP sir. We have met even commissioners in Bangalore. Even luckily, our heartfelt thanks to Tejasvi Sri MP. So he who helped us a lot, but every time we cannot work behind them. RERA has to help us. I registered a complaint in 2019, 2020, September 29. Unfortunately, it happened to be on my birthday. But still, it's been more than 1 year. I haven't got any resolution. It's been three hearings so far, but nothing, not even a stone moved.
Yeah.
So here I just want to,
it is really unfortunate, Kailash, as a common man.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to go to home minister. We don't go to chief minister. We don't want to go to MPs and MLAs. What is our duty as a common man? Our job, we do a job for our feeding families, and there is a government who is supposed to take care of some of these regularities. So that is exactly what we expect from the government, right? That is the reason
exactly,
paying tax. We are paying 20%, 30% of our earnings as a tax, assuming that government will take care of some of these aspects in terms of governing some of these bodies. But unfortunately, somewhere, RERA, is it doing their job honestly, is a question that is arising in everybody. After listening to multiple home buyers on this platform, this question is arising: why RERA has been created? Is it created for home buyers, or is it created? I think Santosh, put it in the right word.
Rightly mentioned.
Created by the builders, for the builders, and of the builders. That is RERA is the definition of it. By the builders, for the builders, and of the builders is a question that is arising in my mind as well today. But unfortunately, it is supposed to be, RERA is supposed to be for home buyers, not by the home buyers, maybe some home buyers by the government, and in conjunction with the builders. Builders and home buyers has to work together. But unfortunately, here looks like, RERA has been created for builders in promoting their projects. Looking like, I think somebody spoke from other projects, they inspected, I think Mantri Energia, they've inspected, and there is no report out of it. And they made all hangama in newspaper saying that, we made an inspection and all. And after that, what happened to the inspection? And where is the results of the inspection? Right? So this is exactly the question that rises. There is no transparency that exists in the RERA as a system. And as well as, and I seen, this is the first time in my last 20 years of my professional career, I have seen a government giving an ad for a regulation body. Last couple of weeks back or 3 weeks back, I have seen an ad issued by the government of Karnataka promoting RERA. Have you guys anywhere seen government promoting regulation bodies like RERA? There's one more regulation body called, for banking sector, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, but we have never seen anybody promoting for RBI. But why the governments are promoting for RERA here, which is unfunctional and not beneficial for home buyers? And home buyers are getting away from RERA, and many of the home buyers are going to consumer court now. Then why the RERA has been created and our salaries and our taxes are being paid as salaries to them? Please dismantle RERA if you are unable to do justice home buyers. Karnataka government and Sri Narendra Modi ji, your RERA is not working in Karnataka. Please dismantle this RERA. We don't want your RERA. If you are unable, please dismantle it. Why you are wasting our tax money? You are creating pradhikas, you are creating regulation body which is not functioning. So this is as a home buyer, as a taxpayer, we get such a frustration. Our tax money is just getting wasted in salaries of somebody who is doing nothing. Thanks a lot, guys.
So to add on some more things, today, this year, I filed a case. I filed an ITR for 4,80,000. So I'm paid. I'm not denying that I'm not getting paid by this Bangalore. I'm getting paid because of my job, and I'm paying tax. So, as you said, I'm one of the taxpayer, proud taxpayer. I'm paying 4,80,000 rupees as a tax for 1 year. But what I'm getting in return? So as you said, as you rightly said, it is a government for people. It is not government for someone else or
government for their employees, not for general citizen. This is looking at the.
That's where I'm worried, sir. So 2020 September 29, my RERA has been filed. Till date, I have got 2 hearings and nothing progress.
Nothing is moving. And you have seen the videos of adjudicating officer who is just saying, we will listen. We will.
It's really pathetic, sir.
Action.
That's really pathetic. And to be on the pathetic side, I'm working for a night shift where I can't appear for the case which is happening on 10 a.m. in the morning, IST. So I'm working on night shift. I cannot come here where my advocates are supporting it, but still it has to be supported by the government as well.
Yeah,
for a lower middle class guys like me, and that too I'm not from Karnataka. Then I want to stress it. So it's government is for every Indian citizen. I'm paying tax.
Yeah, definitely, Kailash. I think it's a good point that you brought in. So in the interest of time, thanks a lot for expressing views. And we'll move on to Anant, who raised the hand, and we'll listen to Anant, facts. Anandji, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. One important point I want to add. RERA is a governing body appointed by the government to ensure buyers and builders are in a balanced situation.
Correct.
Dissolving RERA is not a solution, but empowering RERA is going to be the solution, so that the builders adhere to their whatever empowerment they have got through the law of the land, and they are able to implement it so that the buyers are not cheated, to be very honest.
Correct.
That's something which I would like to emphasize repeatedly. Because
definitely RERA has been found with a good intention, but only issue is that intention is not getting implemented. That is raising a lot of questions. It is not a resolution any home buyers can want to make, but this is a frustration that is coming out. See, you
absolutely, sir.
A body, government is creating a body for regulation, but the regulation is working. Unfortunately, in Mantri case, and it is 7 years of delay. And looking, people are of adjudicating officer saying, I will listen. What is this answer that home buyers are getting out of it? This is a frustration that is coming out.
I agree with it. Agree with it. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with
not
you.
A resolution. This is a frustration. Yeah.
frustration is in me as well. Okay, because violation of agreements
Yeah.
and violation of commitments is against law. If I am willing to pay a tax and I don't pay the tax, I will be jailed. Is that happening to the builders? Is the only point that I have.
Definitely.
This is the criminal violation of builders signing up an agreement and not keeping up to the mark.
Correct.
That's very, very critical because it's I would not call it as a civil case. It's a criminal case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just taking your money and keeping quiet,
It's a
not
cheating.
responding, is absolutely criminal in nature.
Yeah.
Um,
420 cheating case.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I want to place last.
Yeah,
because
definitely, Anand. Definitely. I think, see, we don't want to, RERA to be dismantled, but only if it is, it has to be made functional with the right set of attitude of it. Because it on record earlier, there was a person called Palakshappa. Okay. I don't know him personally. I heard his name, but he was giving the orders for every 6 months. After that, Tahsildar is not executing is another aspect. But within 6 months, the order was being passed. And looking at the current adjudicating officer, even after 1 year, he is not passing any orders. This raises a question.
See, the problem is they wait for objection. Any law gives you opportunities to present your case on your behalf, which is again India as well, because nobody wants to be claimed as a criminal right from the beginning, right?
Correct.
But if they don't appear for more than 2 times or 3 times, which is the opportunity given,
correct,
that should be taken up on behalf of the opponent, which basically we are applicant of the law, applicant of what claims we have.
Correct.
That is something which need to be emphasized, and there's also a request to the Honorable Supreme Court to ensure there's a case happening on empowerment of the AOs and RERA authorities.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a humble placement
definitely.
At their feet that they pass in favor, right? It's important that taxpayers cannot be ignored.
Exactly.
We're all citizens of India. We have equal rights. We have the rights as per the Constitution of Indian law.
Correct.
It's very important that the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, takes the right decision so that we get the right judgment. Justice, to be very honest.
And also the order being passed should be honored by the builder. So there should be some strict regulations should be passed by the Supreme Court to honor. If they don't honor it, there should be some implications on the authorities or bureaucrats. So that is something that need to be implemented as part of some of the implementation guidelines given by the state government.
It's not just guidelines are optional. I would say it should be regulatory.
Regulated.
Regulated.
Absolutely.
That's going to be the right term here.
Absolutely.
Because that is what is going to make the country good.
Absolutely.
And we are talking about growing and developing country. I'm in full support of the government, but again, until the judicial system and the government supports people like us who are supporting the big frame of their government activities, like as you said in the earlier comment, that we are paying Tahsildar, we are paying the RERA authorities.
Correct.
I'm not even claiming that, but justice should be equal. That is what it has to be balanced, be equal, because it cannot be partial. That's a humble placement I have in front of.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. And I think as you know, 3% of the population pays the direct tax, and most of the home buyers here fall under 3% of the entire population. And unfortunately, these taxpayers are the one who are screwed up because of this stuff which is happening. That is one of the important thing. I think government need to look into the taxpayers as a special or whatever. If not special, a generalized sector is also fine. And making sure that law is being implemented for taxpayers as well. So that is
not just the government, sir. The government could change, but importantly, judicial system cannot change. Very, very important, because Supreme Court has got the power to even question the central government.
Yeah.
So they have the supremacy and the power to execute.
Exactly.
I would like to place this as a request on their feet that the supremacy doesn't go wrong for the people who are contributing to the nation. Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, Anand. Yeah. And I think Divakar sir has raised a hand. Please unmute yourself, Divakar sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for.
You need to put your video, Divakar sir.
No, that video is not working well. That is the reason. Sir.
Okay, no problem. Carry on.
Sir, the reason why that I am calling you, sir, is it should be followed up. The same thing we have all what you have told. Is it possible to follow up with the DC and Tahsildar also?
Yes, sir. So our objective is to start protest online, and then this video will go into medias and other aspects. What are the frustrations and what buyers are facing the challenges with respect to RERA, and then what suggestions that we can pass on, we'll definitely pass on. And then Tahsildar and implementation is another ball game that
that is
just now.
So there it
probably
is
that we'll have to
completely
take it up
stopped.
separately. Yeah.
It is stopped there. All that means
Yeah.
entire this thing has become useless.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So Tahsildar, if he's not executing the order, that is exactly what Anand was highlighting, requesting the Supreme Court to, have more authority to be given to AO orders, right? Challenge what we are saying is, one, AO is not giving the orders, and once people who got the orders, it's unable to execute in Tahsildar office.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is exactly
right.
Yes, yes.
So
That means-
AO is not giving orders from last 8 to 9 months. Whoever is come as a new AO is not giving any orders, and case by case it is going on. And then whoever has got the order is unable to execute because Tahsildar is not doing their job, right? So I think
Yes.
pieces that came into picture, yeah, probably we'll have to address it in a separate note. And wherever it is pending, Tahsildar office and other stuff, it has to be handled. And then you can put a RTI. We have some other mechanisms where you can actually question what happened to your applicant. And there is an RTI Act that we can put across, and probably we can discuss after this call, sir. Yeah.
What is actually alarming, sir? The moment when we call, she disconnect the call, and she even doesn't even bother to talk. I am in
Yeah.
Mysore.
So we have other mechanisms, sir. There is an RTI Act. If you file a complaint, and then you can request what is the response to an RTI, and some of the Tahsildars and some of these government bodies respond to RTI. So probably we'll discuss after this call, sir. Yeah. How do we?
Okay.
Once the order is in hand, there is a different way. How do we deal with execution?
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll discuss this separately. Yeah. Okay, so anybody else? I think in the interest of time, probably we wanted to thank each and everyone. Before we close the call, I wanted to make it a point in terms of before we close our meeting. So there are a lot of interesting discussions happened today in terms of how RERA can be more effective, and then is RERA corruptions are happening inside RERA office is a question some home buyers have expressed, and how do we make it more effective with the standard SLAs, and some home buyers have requested for pleading in front of the Supreme Court to give more powers to RERA and then execute as a common orders, and then make it more effective. And then this is coming, and also wanted to bring it on today that we are doing this campaign and doing this protest on an important day of Mahatma Gandhi Ji Jayanti and Lal Bahadur Shastri Jayanti Day, who always did a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and in the name of to remember Swami, our Mahatma Gandhi Ji, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has been taken. So similarly, we have taken Bhrashtachara Mukta Bharat Abhiyan to make it our India Bhrashtachara Mukta, free, corruption-free India and all. And then with this context, today's topic was on RERA corruption. Is RERA, there is a corruption happening inside the RERA, and what the frustrations of home buyers and especially monthly developers who executed projects in Serenity, Energia, Lithos, and other projects who have been victims of this particular case. And then hopefully on this particular day, we will make an impact to the country in terms of passing on the message of the pains of the home buyers under this platform, and we will discuss with the different home buyers in terms of how do we execute it. And then just wanted to place on important aspects. So if you want to make it a corruption-free India, ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಮುಕ್ತ ಭಾರತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೈತಿಕತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮಾರ್ಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಹಾನೆಸ್ಟಿ, ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ, ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾತ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್, ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ತಹಶೀಲ್ದಾರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಡ್ಜುಡಿಕೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರೇರಾ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಡೆಸೋರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಲೂ ಅವರವರ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಕೆಲಸಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಮಗ್ರತೆಯನ್ನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿನ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೇಸಿನ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ತು, ಹಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋ ಹೇಳೋ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಬದಲು ಅಕೌಂಟಬಿಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ ನಾವಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೇರಾ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಪಾರದರ್ಶಕತೆಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ತರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾ ಹೊಂಬಯ್ಯರ್ ಒಬ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇವತ್ತು, ಏನಂತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅನಂತ್ ಅವರು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು, ಎನರ್ಜಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದ್ರು, ಬಟ್ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ದಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ರೇರಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಪಾತ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್, ಏನ್ ಸತ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೇಳುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲಸ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪರೆನ್ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾತ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರೂತ್ ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಈ ಒಂದು 5 ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೈತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮಾರ್ಗವಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we all will achieve what we call it as ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಭಾರತ್ ಆರ್ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಮುಕ್ತ ಭಾರತ ಅಭಿಯಾನ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಆಸೆ ಇರೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು, ಆದ್ರೆ ದುರಾಸೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೆಗಿಂತ ದುರಾಸೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ದುರಾಸೆಯನ್ನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಮುಕ್ತ ಭಾರತವನ್ನ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ನಾನು ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೊತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ 9 ಗಂಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಮ್ ಬೈಯರ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರವನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತಾಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಲಿ.
ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್.
ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.